Hello, my name's Gary Campbell, and I thought that in order for you to better understand the life of a British soldier during the First World War, and a Canadian soldier, you should know how they were dressed, how they were equipped, and how they are armed. Here we have a typical soldier in a First World War uniform. His name's Tommy, because all soldiers were called Tommies. That was their nickname. He's in a pattern 1902 uniform because it was introduced in 1902. You have black boots, puttees wrapped to the knee, and the purpose of those was to provide protection against shrubs and bramble, and also to keep small stones and dirt out of your boots. Wool trousers, and the tunic. This is a British pattern tunic with 5 buttons and rifle patches on the shoulders, which reduce the amount of wear to the uniform from chafing. And he also has a forage cap. It's hard right now, it's got reinforcements in it, but in the field, that would have been out and it'd be a nice floppy hat. But he's not ready to go fighting, is he? What he needs is equipment. This is the pattern 1908 Webb equipment. Webb equipment was new to the British forces. Prior to that, they had used leather equipment, but they found it didn't serve well under field conditions, so they moved to the American idea of woven web equipment. Okay, so what he has is you've got 2 pouches in the front. Each one holds 75 rounds in 5-round clips for a total of 150 rounds of ammunition. It's hooked onto the waist belt, a web belt that goes around, and it supports the pouches on a crisscross set of webbing that goes into the buckles here. You also have the bayonet frog that holds the bayonet and scabbard. You have a pouch here to hold the head of an entrenching tool, and the handle of it is carried along here. On this side you have a water bottle, and you have a small pouch. Now in full marching order, you'd have a large pack here. But in fighting order, such as he's in right now, there's no large pack, you just have the small pack. In full marching order, it weighed about 26 kilograms. In fighting order like this, it weighed 23 kilograms, a bit less because a large pack isn't there. Now, weapons. We need weapons. What we have is a short model Lee Enfield Mark III Star rifle that fired 10 rounds of .303 ammunition. And we have a pattern 1907 bayonet that went with the rifle with a 17-inch blade, guaranteed to penetrate the toughest German uniform. Now in the field, Tommy would not be wearing the soft hat because he needed protection from enemy fire and enemy shell fragments. So they introduced what was called the Brodie helmet, which is a steel helmet, and it gave the soldier some protection from enemy rifle fire and, more important, from shrapnel from exploding German shells. So this is Tommy ready to go do his time in the trenches. However, if he's going over the top, what else would you want to take with you? Well, first of all, you only have 150 rounds of ammunition. You want more ammunition, maybe another 150 rounds. And you'd want mill bombs that we know as hand grenades today. So you'd want to have a bunch of those. So to carry those, he'd have a cloth sack hung over his shoulder that would have a number of hand grenades in it. And what else would you need to go fighting? Well, you need your water. You might need defensive stores, because when you got to the other side of the trench, assuming you're successful, you'd want to dig in and refortify the trench you just took. And last but not least, if you're expecting some Germans, you'd want your handy-dandy trench fighting weapon, in this case, a trench club. So all of this would add his weight from the 23 kilos in basic order up to 56 kilos. So can you imagine going through the mud of France and Flanders up to your mid-thigh, sticky mud, carrying 56 kilograms of equipment? It was hard work. And when you see them on the films moving fairly quickly, you know that film's been speeded up. So Tommy, what do you say? You happy? Ready to go attack some Germans? Yep. Sounds good. Well, that is how a typical British soldier, a typical Commonwealth British soldier, including Canadians, would have looked during the First World War. Of course, he's much cleaner. He's not covered with mud. We couldn't do that, but you get the picture.